So, one of the oldest books in the world, you may have heard about the Vedas. There are four of them: Rig Veda, Samved, Yajurved, and Atharvaved. The oldest Veda is Rig Veda, which is composed about 3500 years ago. The Rig Veda includes more than 1000 hymns called the Sukta or well said. These hymns are in praise of various gods and goddesses. The three gods are especially important: Agni, the god of fire; Indra, the warrior god; and Soma, the plant from which a special drink was prepared. So these hymns were composed of sagas or sages, right? We call them rishis. Sages mean rishis. They composed them. So priests taught students to recite and memorize each syllable, word, and sentence bit by bit with proper and great care. So most of the hymns were composed, taught, and learned by men. A few were composed by women also. So the Rig Veda is in old or Vedic Sanskrit, which is different from Sanskrit, the language Sanskrit you learn these days. Let us see something about Sanskrit first, and there are other languages as well. Sanskrit is a part of family of languages known as Indo-European family, to which this Sanskrit belongs. Some Indian languages like Assamese, Gujarati, Hindi, Kashmiri, and Sindhi. Many European languages like English, French, German, Italian, Spanish, they belong to this Indo-European family. They are called family because they originally had words in common. Just take an example of word matra. In Sanskrit we call it matra, in Hindi we call ma, and in English we call it mother. So these are the similarities as you see: ma, mother, mama, matra, mate. Other languages used in the subcontinent, they belong to different families. For instance, those used in the northeast belong to Tibetan Burman family. Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, they belong to Dravidian family. And the language spoken in Jharkhand and parts of central India, they belong to Austro-Asiatic family. So the books we use are written and printed. The Rig Veda was recited and heard rather than read. So it was written down several centuries after it was first composed and printed, less than 200 years ago. So how these historians they study the Rig Veda? Historians, like archaeologists, they try to find out about the past, but in addition to material remains, they examine written sources as well. So let us see how they study the Rig Veda. Some of the hymns in the Rig Veda are in the form of dialogues. This is a part of one such hymn, a dialogue between a sage named Vishwamitra and two rivers, Vyas and Satluj, that were worshipped as goddesses. So a page from a manuscript of Rig Veda. This manuscript of the Rig Veda on bird Vard was found in Kashmir. About 150 years ago, it was used to prepare one of the earliest printed texts of the Rig Veda, as well as an English translation. So it is now preserved in the library in Pune, Maharashtra. So we were talking about Vishwamitra and the rivers Vyas and Satluj. There was a conversation. There was a dialogue. Vishwamitra says, "O rivers, come down from the mountain like two swift horses, like two shining cows that lick their calves. You move like a chariots in the sea. With the power of Indra, you are full of water and wish to unite with one another. The rivers, we, who are full of water, move along the path the gods have made for us. Once we start flowing, we cannot be stopped. Why do you pray to us, O sage? Now the Vishwamitra says, O sisters, please listen to me, the singer who has come from a distance with his chariots and cars. Let your waters not rise above our axles, so that we can cross safely. Now the river says, we will listen to your prayers so that you can cross safely. Historians point out that this hymn was composed in the area where there were rivers flowing. They also suggest that the sage lived in a society where horses and cows were valued animals. That is why the rivers are compared to horses and cows. Other rivers, especially the Indus and the tributaries of Indus and the Saraswati, they are also named in hymns. The Ganga and Yamuna, they are named only once. Cattle, horses, and chariots. There are many prayers in Rigveda for cattle, children, especially sons and horses. So horses were yoked with chariots that were used in battles, which were fought to capture the cattle. So battles were also part of land, which was important for pasture, for growing hardy crop that ripened quickly, which is barley. Some battles were fought for water and to capture people. Some of the wealth that was obtained was kept by the leaders, some was given to the priest, and the rest was distributed amongst the people. Some wealth was used for the performance of yagyas or sacrifices, in which offerings were made into the fire. So they were meant for god and goddesses. Offering could include ghee, grain, and in some cases animals also. So most of the men took part in these wars. There was no regular army, but there were assemblies where people would meet and discuss the matters of war and peace. They also chose leaders who were often brave and skillful warriors. So there are words to describe people. There are several ways of describing people in terms of the word or work that they do. The language they speak, the place they belong to, their family, their community, their cultural practices. So let us have a look at some of the words used to describe people found in the Rigveda. There are two groups who are described in terms of their work. The priests, sometimes called the Brahmins, who perform various rituals, and the Rajas. These Rajas were not like the ones you will be learning in the later discussions. They did not have capital cities, palaces, or armies, nor did they collect taxes. Generally, the sons did not automatically succeed fathers of Rajas. Two words were used to describe the people or the community as a whole. One was the word Jana, Jan. Jan means people, which we still use in Hindi and other languages. The other was Vish. The word Vashya comes from Vish. Several Vish and Jana are mentioned by the name. So we find references to the Puru Jana and Vish, the Bharat Jana and Vish, and Yadu Jana and Vish, and so on. So sometimes the people who compose the hymns describe themselves as Aryas, and they call their opponents as Dasas, Das or Dasyus. So these were people who did not perform sacrifices and formally spoke different languages. Later on, this term Dasa, or in feminine, for the females, feminine, they were called Dasis, came to mean slave. So slaves were women and men who were often captured in war. They were treated as the property of their owners, who could make them do whatever they would want. While this Rigveda was being composed in the northwest of the subcontinent, there were other developments elsewhere. Let us have a look at some of these. Silent Sentinels, the story of the megaliths. So I'm going to show you the picture. These stones boulders are known as megaliths. Literally, it means big stones. So these were carefully arranged by people and were used to mark burial sites. The practice of erecting megaliths began about 3,000 years ago and was prevalent throughout the decade South India, in the northeast and Kashmir. So this type of megaliths is known as the cysts. Some cysts, like one you see here, have part holes which could be used as entrance. So some important sites are there. While some megaliths can be used on the surface, other megalithic burials are often underground. Sometimes archaeologists find a circle of stone boulders or a single large stone standing on the ground, and these are the only indication that there are burials beneath. All these burials have some common features. Generally, the dead were buried with distinctive pots which are called black and red clay. Also found are tools and weapons of iron and sometimes skeleton of horses, horse equipment and ornaments of stone gold. So here we have iron equipment found from megalithic burials. You see here, this is the horse equipment. Here we have axes. Here we have a dragon. When we want to find out about these social differences, so archaeologists think that objects found with a skeleton probably belong to the dead person. Sometimes more objects are found in one grave than in another. So in Brahmagiri, it was found that one skeleton was buried with 33 gold beads, 2 stone beads, 4 copper bangles, and 1 conch shell. Other skeletons have only a few pots. These findings suggest that there was some difference in the status amongst the people who were buried. Some were rich, some were poor, some were chiefs, and some maybe pharaohs. So, what some burial spots meant for certain families? Sometimes the megaliths contain more than one skeleton. This indicates the point that people perhaps belong to the same family. They were buried in the same place, though not at the same time. The bodies of those who died later was brought into the grave through the potholes. Stone circles or boulders placed on the surface, they normally serve as signposts as an indicator to find the burial site, so that people could return to the same place whenever they want to. A special burial at Inamgaon. Again, we'll go to the map. So this is a site on the river Gho, a tributary of Bhima. So it was occupied between 3600 and 2700 years ago. Here, adults were generally buried in the ground, laid out straight, while they head towards the north. Sometimes buried were within the houses. Vessels that probably contained food and water were placed with these dead. One man was found buried in a large 4-legged clay jar in the courtyard of a 5-room house, one of the largest houses at this site, in the center of the settlement. So this house also had a granary. The body was placed in a cross-legged position. So what skeletal studies tells us, means the skeleton which the archaeologists find, what they tell us? It is easy to make out the skeleton of a children from its smaller size. However, there are no major differences of the bones of a girl and a boy. So can we make out whether a skeleton was that of a man or a woman? Sometimes people decide on the basis of what is found in the skeleton. For instance, the skeleton is found with jewelry. So it is sometimes thought to be that woman. However, there are problems with this. Often men also wore certain ornaments. So a better way of figuring out the sex or the gender of skeleton is to look at the bone structure. The hip and the pelvic area of women is generally larger in order to enable childbearing. These distinctions are based on modern skeletons. In about 2000 years ago, there was a famous physician named Chakra or Charaka. So this Charaka, who wrote a book on medicine known as Charaka Samhita, there he stated that human body has 360 bones. This is much larger than the 200 bones that are recognized in modern anatomy. So Charaka arrived at this figure by counting the teeth, joints, and cartilage. So if we again go to the Inam Gaon, the occupations at Inam Gaon, archaeologists, they have found seeds of wheat, barley, rice, pulses, millets, peas, and sesame. Most of the number of animals, many varying cut marks that show that they have been used as food, are also been found. They include cattle, buffalo, goat, sheep, dog, horses, ass, pig, sambar, spotted deer, black buck, antelope, bear, moose, besides bird, crocodile, turtle, crab, and fish. There is evidence that foods such as bear, amla, jamun, dates, and a variety of berries were collected. What was going elsewhere? China. Around 3500 years ago, we find some of the first evidence of writing in China. These writings were on animal bones, and these are called oracle bones because they were used to predict the future. Kings got scribes to write questions on the bones. Would they win battles? Would the harvest be good? Would they have sons? So the bones were then put into the fire and they cracked because of the heat. Then the fortune tellers studied these cracks and they tried to predict the future. As you would expect, they sometimes made mistakes. These kings lived in places in cities. They amassed vast quantities of wealth, including large, elaborately decorated bronze vessels. However, they did not use the iron. They did not know the use of iron.